Last spring, a traveler at a major US airport watched a TSA officer reach into her carry-on, pull out her brand new power bank and say, "I'm sorry, ma'am, this one's not going with you." She had bought it 3 weeks earlier. It was fully charged. She needed it for a 14-hour international trip. And just like that, gone. Here's the thing, she wasn't doing anything sneaky. She didn't know the rules had changed. And that right there is exactly the problem. Because right now, in 2026, the TSA is enforcing electronics rules with a level of precision that would have seemed almost science fiction 10 years ago. They have 3D scanners at checkpoints across the country that can rotate your bag digitally, analyze the internal chemistry of your batteries, and flag a damaged charging cable before a single officer even touches your bag. And the vast majority of travelers, they still think they're packing the same way they did in 2019. So today, we're going through the specific gadgets that are getting stopped, flagged, and confiscated right now in 2026, what the actual rules are, why they exist, and exactly what you need to do so you don't become that person standing at a checkpoint watching your gear disappear into a bin you'll never see again. Let's get into it. The machine that changed everything. Before we talk about specific gadgets, you need to understand what changed, because the rules themselves haven't shifted as dramatically as the enforcement. The TSA has been rolling out computed tomography scanners, CT scanners, across airports nationwide. These are the same technology used in medical imaging. Major hubs like JFK, LAX, Chicago O'Hare, Atlanta, Boston, and Phoenix already have them in place. What do they actually do? Instead of a flat 2D image like the old X-ray machines, these scanners produce a full 3D model of your bag's contents. Officers can rotate it on a screen, zoom in, and analyze density, composition, and even internal wiring patterns. According to the TSA, this technology allows them to detect fire hazards faster and more accurately than any previous screening system. The upside? At airports using CT scanners, you often don't need to pull out your laptop or liquids anymore. The downside, if something in your bag even resembles a fire risk, the scanner catches it every time, no exceptions. So that battered old power bank you've flown with a dozen times? The scanner doesn't care about your history. It sees what's inside it right now. Your power bank may not be flying with you. As of March 1st, 2025, the TSA officially banned all portable chargers and power banks from checked luggage. This is no longer a gray area. If your power bank is in your checked bag, it will be removed. You won't get it back. The reason comes down to a single phrase: thermal runaway. When a lithium-ion battery is damaged or overheats, it can enter a runaway reaction, generating its own heat, accelerating, and potentially igniting. In a cargo hold, there is no crew to respond. That's why the FAA wants every lithium battery up in the cabin, where a flight attendant can deal with it if something goes wrong. Now here's the part people miss. It's not just about where you pack it. The battery must be under 100 watt-hours. That number is usually printed in tiny text on the side of the device. If it's not labeled at all, TSA agents are authorized to confiscate it on the spot. They cannot verify it's safe, so it doesn't fly. Larger batteries between 101 and 160 watt-hours require explicit airline approval in advance. Anything above 160 watt-hours is prohibited entirely on passenger flights. So if you're still traveling with that old, unlabeled, generic power bank you bought years ago, replace it before you fly. Or at the very least, look up its watt-hour rating before you get to the checkpoint. The smart luggage trap. This catches people by surprise every single day. If you bought a suitcase with a built-in USB charging port or a GPS tracker, that bag has a lithium battery inside it. And airlines in 2026 require that battery to be completely removable with one simple motion for the bag to fly at all. If the battery is sealed in, glued in, or requires a tool to remove, that bag is not checking in. But here's the part that stings even more. Say you're at the gate and they ask you to gate check your carry-on because the overhead bins are full. That happens constantly. The moment that carry-on ooze into the cargo hold, any battery still attached to it has to come out. If the battery can't come out quickly, the bag stays behind at the gate. So before your next trip, open up your smart luggage, find the battery and practice removing it, one clean pull, because at the gate is not the time to figure out how it works. Gadgets with hidden battery rules. Let's move through the items that trip people up most often, because some of these are genuinely not obvious. Electric toothbrushes and electric shavers seem harmless, and in your carry-on they are, but packed loosely in a checked bag, they create a different problem entirely. If either device accidentally activates during handling, the vibration or sound can flag the bag as suspicious. Baggage handlers are trained to report buzzing bags. It's not dramatic, it's just how the protocol works. Use a travel lock on your shaver and secure the power button on your toothbrush before it goes anywhere near your luggage. Cordless hairstyling tools that run on butane cartridges are treated as pressurized gas containers. The TSA allows one in a carry-on, but the heating element must have a protective cover in place. Spare butane refill canisters are prohibited entirely. No exceptions, no quantity limits, just no. Wireless earbuds and their charging cases are fine to fly with, but the case itself contains a lithium battery. If it's damaged, cracked, or swollen, it will be flagged. Keep your case clean and protected. Drones are allowed in carry-ons and the frame can go in a checked bag, but the batteries cannot. Drone batteries are spare lithium-ion cells. They must be in your carry-on, terminals protected, and they're subject to the 100 watt-hour limit as everything else. If your drone battery is above that threshold, you need airline approval before you ever get to the checkpoint. Laptop cooling pads, especially the kind with multiple USB-powered fans, are increasingly flagged at airports with CT scanners because of their motor assemblies and wiring patterns. If yours is cracked, bent, or has loose connectors, seriously consider leaving it at home. A damaged one is an easy confiscation. Vapes and e-cigarettes must be in your carry-on only, never checked. They are completely banned from checked luggage under TSA and FAA regulations. And many countries also prohibit them from entering at all. So if you're flying internationally, research your destination before you pack. Rechargeable flashlights, especially tactical style ones with heavy metal housings and high lumen ratings, are increasingly drawing secondary screening. They're not banned, they just look suspicious on a 3D scanner. If yours is in good condition and clearly a consumer product, you're fine. If it's banged up, modified in any way, or has tape on it anywhere, expect to have a conversation at the checkpoint. Bluetooth speakers with large battery cores get flagged more than people expect. The combination of a big lithium cell and an acoustic chamber creates a scan profile that doesn't look like typical consumer electronics. Stick to brand name speakers in good condition. Keep them powered off and don't bury them inside clothing in your bag. Medical gear. The rules are different but still strict. If you travel with medical equipment, you get some extra flexibility, but not unlimited flexibility. CPAP machines are allowed as carry-on medical devices and don't count against your carry-on allowance. But spare CPAP batteries, especially high-capacity ones, can exceed standard watt-hour limits. They are still allowed, but they must be in your carry-on, and you need to protect the terminals. Use electrical tape over the contacts or keep the battery in its original packaging. A loose, unprotected spare medical battery in a check bag will be confiscated every single time. Portable oxygen concentrators, POCs, must come on board with you. They cannot fly in the cargo hold. The FAA requires this because the pressure changes down there can affect the device and the batteries are a fire risk. Airlines require you to have enough battery life for 150% of the total flight duration, including potential delays. Call your airline at least 48 hours before your flight to confirm their specific requirements. Rechargeable hearing aid charging cases contain small lithium batteries inside the case itself. The hearing aids can be in your ears or your pocket, but the charging case belongs in your carry-on, not your check bag. And here's something worth pausing on for a second. If you use any of these medical devices and you're not sure whether your specific model is compliant, the NYTSA app has a What Can I Bring search feature that covers nearly 500 individual items. You can also text the word travel to 275-872 to reach Ask TSA directly. Both options take about 2 minutes. That's a lot cheaper than losing a piece of equipment at the airport. Hey, if this video is saving you some grief before your next trip, consider subscribing. It helps us keep making content like this, and you won't miss the next one. Laptops and tablets, the rules people assume they know. Laptops and tablets are permitted in checked baggage as long as they are completely powered off. Not sleep mode, not hibernation, fully off. In sleep mode, a laptop can wake up from vibration during handling, overheat, and become a fire risk inside a suitcase packed with your clothes. That said, the TSA strongly recommends keeping all screen devices, laptops, tablets, e-readers, everything with a flat battery, in your carry-on. Flat batteries are vulnerable to puncture if a heavy bag lands on top of them in the cargo hold. A punctured lithium battery doesn't just fail, it fires. And TSA officers are authorized to ask you to power on your laptop or phone at any checkpoint. If the device is dead and won't turn on, they may flag it for additional screening or prevent it from boarding. Keep your devices charged before you fly. The fine print that cost people real money. This part is worth slowing down on because the penalty structure in 2026 has teeth. Under updated TSA and FAA enforcement guidelines, civil penalties for lithium battery violations can reach up to $17,000 per violation for egregious cases. Most travelers won't face anything close to that. Confiscation is the standard outcome for a first offense. But there's one consequence people almost never think about. Serious violations, meaning repeated offenses or transporting batteries in a way that genuinely endangers an aircraft, can result in the permanent revocation of TSA PreCheck or global entry status. If you travel frequently, that's not just an inconvenience, that's hours added to every trip you take for the rest of your life. The rules exist because lithium battery fires are real and they're dangerous. In January 2025, a fire aboard an Air Busan aircraft in South Korea was linked to a lithium battery device. The incident forced a full evacuation. That's the event that accelerated enforcement internationally and pushed the TSA to make the March 2025 power bank ban official. What to do before your next flight? Here's what actually works. Go through your carry-on right now, not at the airport, right now. Pull out every power bank, every spare battery, every charging case. Check the label on each one for a watt-hour rating. If there's no label, contact the manufacturer or look up the model number. Any battery you're traveling with should be under 100 watt-hours, unless you've already confirmed airline approval for larger ones. Protect exposed terminals with electrical tape or keep batteries in their original packaging or a hard protective case. If you're gate checked unexpectedly, pull your power banks out of your carry-on before handing it over. That's not optional, it's required by TSA policy. And if you're traveling with medical equipment, smart luggage, a drone, or any device that's a little outside the ordinary, call your airline before you leave home. Not the day of, not at the airport, before. The bottom line. The gadgets themselves haven't changed much. The power bank in your bag is the same power bank it was 5 years ago. What changed is the technology reading it, the enforcement enforcing it, and the penalties waiting if you get it wrong. The good news, every single item we talked about today is manageable. None of it requires you to leave your favorite gear at home. It just requires knowing the rules before you get to that checkpoint. So here's my question for you. Has TSA ever pulled something out of your bag that you had no idea was a problem? Drop it in the comments, because I promise you, whatever it is, someone else has gone through the exact same thing. If this video helped you, subscribe before you go. We cover travel rules, packing strategies, and the stuff airlines won't always tell you up front. Every week, something useful. Safe travels and pack smart.